Sunday afternoon being in here. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to see all the work that has been going on to promote women. I am honored to be here. Thank you for inviting me, Linda and Maria, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak. So I was asked to talk about what inspired me, what obstacles, setbacks, essential courses that I took in school, and how I landed at NASA. So I am, first of all, I'm an immigrant, and I'm also an engineer at NASA. My background is electrical engineering, and I have degrees in electrical engineering as well as an MBA, just to learn more about the different ways of thinking. I went and took other courses. I'm also incidentally a certified yoga teacher as well, because that's another thing that you learn right throughout life. You don't stay still. So I experienced my first plane ride to come to the U.S. when I was 17, and I saw my first snow at 18. Never seen snow. It was exciting. My major is electrical engineering. I had a job as an intern at NASA through networking. I hope that, no matter where we are, when we sit next to each other, we learn about each other, and hopefully we make the connections that we do. So the girl sitting next to me in physics 3 who ends up also being my matron of honor when I got married, introduced me to my first job. So I try to keep, once I make friends, I try to keep them. And not because, they are, helping me introduce me, but I genuinely like people, and I'm a rather people person. I joined NASA as a contractor in 1986, so it's been 33 years. And in that time, I got married, and I had an incident that I want to tell you about my experiences while there. I was pregnant with my daughter. My daughter's in the audience, by the way. That's and I was pregnant with her in '94, and I asked for a lactation room. And at the time, there were a lot of men who didn't think what I was thinking, which was, I need to nurse my kid, I want to have my career, I want to keep a healthy baby. And when I asked for the lactation room, one of the people organizing the building said, "You can use my office now." Thought that was not practical, so I used the bathroom. So fast forward, I joined the Women's Advisory Committee at Goddard Space Flight Center where I worked. I got a room approved, and it was a lot of cancellations, prove that you need this, why do you need this, presentations. And finally, I got the funding for a pilot program, and that was after I gave birth to my daughter. I was just barely pregnant with her, like 2 months pregnant, and I asked for that room. And I had 2 babies, I got my master's degree, I launched 3 spacecraft, and then the room finally got approved, and then I built it with scrounging off of furniture, and then I gave, we had this little, opening ceremony, and it was very successful because I had women coming out from the woodwork asking me, how can I get one of these things in my building? And at NASA Goddard Space Flight Center, there were many buildings, so you couldn't just go and have a lactation room in the next building over because it's many, you have to spend 15 minutes. It's as if you're going to the bathroom and you have to go 20 minutes to the bathroom and then walk back for 20 more minutes. It's not practical for somebody who was just nursing. But the point is, we persisted, and now there's a policy for women to get nursing rooms in the new buildings that they build at NASA Goddard Space Flight Center.
Yeah, thank you.
I say this because that was one of the, there was the question, I'm an engineer, so I ticked off all the questions that was asked. So this is like I answered that mail on that one. So, of all the things I've done, I've done a lot of flight instruments. I've flown stuff on the Curiosity rover. Perhaps you've heard of that rover that's roaming around Mars today. I've also flown stuff on the Cassini mission, which is a Cassini spacecraft that went to Saturn. And I make it a point to talk to children, adults, nursing homes. I try to do this once a month because I think it's important for STEM education and promoting that among every group. It doesn't matter even if you're on your career to be a historian, you can still become, do the things you need to do to move on, to have a second career in the sciences or any sort of thing, because I really truly believe that we as a nation need to grow the STEM slice of our population. So that's my firm belief in coming to talk to people about STEM and how well we do. Will determine how well economically we do as a country. So to let you know how I came to this, where I came, I believe that adversity is a good thing. Sometimes along the way when you see the struggle of your family, you go through a growth. So I came from an immigrant family. My parents, I grew up in a little town on the Straits of Malacca in Malaysia in the 60s and 70s, and I watched my parents. They were school teachers, but in the old days you didn't have to go to college, you just go finish your high school degree and can teach school. So that's what they did, and they didn't have college degrees. And they told us, look at us, we have no college degrees. You go to college and you get a degree. So my parents really inspired me, and they became our guiding stars. And my parents also didn't have money to pay for anybody to come to school. So they had enough money to pay for my sister, who's they did really well, because all of us we're not bums, but we became successful in our own right. But it's because of my parents' vision. My sister is a computer scientist at the bank. My brother ran GD Capital in Thailand and is now a president of a bank there. I'm at NASA, I'm the deputy chief technologist for NASA Science, and my other brother is a professor at Kent State. So how did we do that? It's because my parents told us, we can't afford for all of us to go to college. You pay for your kid, your younger siblings when you guys graduate. So that's what we did. We combined our resources, and we realized that education was the key to success, to economic mobility, to moving up. And I think that given the question was, what inspired you? This is what we did. My parents definitely pushed us, and we became a success because of my parents. The other question that was asked of me was the importance of junior high school work or high school work. I didn't take calculus in high school, and I didn't know anything about AP anything, because there was no AP classes in Malaysia. But that's okay. The true message to give to kids today, in my opinion, is to tell them, if you want to do a career in math and science, in STEM, you should learn the basics of math and learn it well. I think a lot of children feel that it's too late. I don't believe that's the case. What I believe is, with reading, you can kind of learn it along and pick it up. With math, if you have this fuzziness about the questions, you just have to learn it and learn it well, ask questions, and pick up and get the help that's needed. And that's why I tell kids when I go out to speak to them, I said it's not too late. So that's a message I think all of us should be giving to students if they were to do some STEM subject. And the other question that was asked of me was, what possible careers that NASA opportunities, what opportunities would there be at NASA? And my answer to any student or anybody, with family members, is anything, right? it's like an institution where you need legal help, you need human resources, you need management, you need accounting, you need science, of course, you need engineering, artists, right? All those beautiful pictures that you see, these are all artist renditions. So think of any small town, think of anything that's needed for the functions of a small town. I think that possible career path is there. One has to just pursue it. And the last question I was given was, what's the best part of my job? And I would say the best part of my job is learning and having a little fun. I'll end with one thing I did for the Cassini mission, which maybe you guys know of, but I was the person behind this. So my husband and I both worked on the Curiosity mission together, and we worked on an instrument called SAM, Sample Analysis at Mars. This instrument is a biochemistry lab that takes soil samples. And to make the soil samples go in, we had to open a cup, and you have to vibrate the thing like the way you put in like spices into a funnel. You kind of have to tap it to get the thing to go down without being stuck. So we designed some hardware that would vibrate. And while we were designing this, we heard 0 to 500 hertz. Now the musical note A, does anyone know how many hertz that is? Does anyone know? Musicians? 440 hertz. You can hear it. So my husband and I said, ooh, let's see if this thing can play some music. So we sat in the lab, and he programmed it real fast, and I gathered everyone from outside our lab, and we went in, and he said, listen to this. So I hit the carriage return, and it played Fur Leaves and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star for the first time. So we really have fun, right? And I'm still learning stuff as you know, doing the technology for NASA. So anyway, on the first anniversary of NASA's arrival on Mars, which was August 5th, 2012, so August 5th, 2013, I went to my boss just 2 weeks before that and said, hey, can we like beam happy birthday up to Mars? So he said, sure. So I made a video, called Happy Birthday Curiosity. And this thing kind of grew legs. And so I still get questions about it. Reporters would call me out and say, do you guys do this every year? No, this is a waste of time and money. We did it once. It's scientifically not very useful to science to just say happy birthday to yourself, right? But it kind of it sparks people's imagination. So anyway, my job is fun. I really like to inspire kids. I really like what I learn every day on the job. And I think I hope to have answered a lot of questions. And thank you.
We have the president of Hood College coming up, and you're going to tell a little bit about yourself, and about the college, and about the educational opportunities for women.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I know we're all ready to stretch, so I'll try to be brief, but wasn't that an amazing story? Thank you so much, Dr. Larson. Well, it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. So I was asked to say a few words about how I got here. Believe me, I did not major in being a college president, so it's a little bit of a story of how that happened. And then also just to say a few words, as you can see from the title next to my name, about educational opportunities. So for those of you who are not from this area, I just want to say very briefly, I am the president of Hood College, which is a college based here in Fredericks. It was founded in 1893, and I'll talk a little bit more about that when I talk about educational opportunities. This is my 4th year here, and I absolutely love serving this great college that I am a part of, but also being a member of this wonderful community. And just to share with you, when I came 4 years ago, it was about the time that county executive was elected to her position. And we also had our first female chamber president. We had a female president of our local community college. And you've also met some of my fellow elected women in this area, as well as a female superintendent of our school district. All kind of happened at the same time. So there's a little bit of a female revolution that happened here in Frederick. And I can tell you it has made my transition to this community so much more effective, which we all know, as women hold each other up and support each other in wonderful ways. So my story really began as a first generation person. So it is not surprising that I stand before you as an educator today, because when I talk about my journey, it's all about the opportunity of education and what that opportunity gave to me, and it's what I'm passionate about and spend my time doing. So just very quickly, I'm a second generation American. Both of my parents, grandparents, etc., in fact even my husband's family, all were born in Quebec, and they came here. It's a very typical story of a lot of French-Canadian descendants in New England to work in the textile mills and try to make their way. And so I was raised in a very small textile Massachusetts town, very blue collar. I'm the youngest of 5 children, and so it was, and in fact, my father never finished his high school degree, and my mother only went to college for 1 year before stepping out to have that wonderful family that she did. But my parents were very ardent believers in education, and of course I owe them so much for that belief. And they really believed that the way to provide opportunity for their children was to give them access to education. And so you can imagine what a heavy lift that is financially to send 5 kids off to school. But they did make it happen for myself and my 3 sisters. And I just have to share, my eldest sister was in the first class of women at the U.S. Air Force Academy. She has great stories about that. And all 3 of my sisters completed their college degree. 2 are engineers, and my other sister, like me, is an educator. And although I always tell her, you have a harder job because she teaches first graders. So I really see college, as you can see the theme, as having a transformative impact. There's certainly no doubt that when I went to college, it really opened my eyes, not just to what I was trying to study and learn about, but about amazing people of all walks of life. And I see that same thing happening on my college campus each and every day. I understand, it's difficult. Although it was hard for my parents financially, although I was first generation, and so that is a challenge for students who come into college, I still consider myself one of the lucky ones. I was able to go to college when I wasn't trying to raise a family, when I wasn't trying to face other types of discrimination, although certainly as a female I did face some. I also came with a solid K-12 education, and I understand that is not true of every student who walks through my door. And so I work very hard every day to make sure those doors are open for all students of promise. And it's what empowers me and gives me my passion every day. I'm sorry, I'm trying to skip through my notes here and keep it going. So let me just say a few words about Hood and where I think we are nationally on education, very briefly again. As I said, Hood College was founded 125 years ago in 1893, and it was a women's college originally. And I hope, this is a good story in that it was the men of the local church who said, we need a place for our women to be educated. We believe in educating our women. Now, we can argue about what they wanted them educated for, but the fact that I really am grateful for those visionary men who said, we will make room at the table for these women, and that's really what launched Hood. Now, Hood became fully co-educational in 2003, but very typical of small private colleges, we are still about 65% women in our undergraduate, and about just over 50% in our graduate programs. And what we know nationally is there are more women in college than men right now, especially in the traditional age population. So we have made enormous strides in opening those doors to women, and women of all diversity. Hood College represents about 45% of our students are non-white, and again, we're very proud of that, and that continues to grow every year as well. We know that we still have work to do. So as you get into the master's level and the graduate level, you start to see the impact of what we all know is that leaky pipeline, where women are stepping out of that educational pathway for various reasons. We also know that although college is the best predictor of earnings and employment over the lifetime, it's not equal, right? So even women with advanced degrees are still not earning equal to their counterparts. Education helps. So the pay gaps we see are less as women get more and more educated. So that is definitely the best pathway to women empowerment. We also know, and I'll just give you this very quick statistics, in the last presidential election, females who were in women's colleges, 70% over 70% of them voted. Can you just imagine what this nation would look like if 70% of us were voting? That is phenomenal. And we know that college really does bring out the vote, if you will. And so one of the things I tell my students every day, do you want to talk about empowerment? Do you want to talk about engagement? I want to see you voting. And that is the most important way that we can begin to get engaged. So for the students in the audience, please exercise your right to vote. It makes all the difference. So I just want to say, in closing, I am very proud of the work that higher education can do to impact our nation as we empower women. And it is the thing that has allowed me to move from being a first-generation blue-collar kid to being a college president, and it's the passion that I bring to my work each and every day. So I have to apologize. I'm actually running out to a board meeting I have this afternoon, but it was a pleasure to be with all of you. Thank you.
I'd like to have Maria Darby come up. She has several awards.
The Maryland Women's Heritage Center is proud to partner with other organizations with complementary missions such as NOW, AEW, the National Women's History Alliance, and many others. So to that end, we wanted to recognize today, along with our partners, several longstanding leaders of the Maryland Women's Heritage Center who've made significant contributions to the organizations who are retiring from their past roles. Amazing, you do actually eventually get to retire. I didn't know such a thing. But anyway, in this public forum with many of our supporters and partners, we wanted to acknowledge a few of the members of our board and change makers for the Maryland Women's Heritage Center. First, we would like to thank and recognize Frances Hughes Glendenny. Francie was an original member of our board in 2004. She served as our president until 2018. So if you're counting, all except for her first year on the board, she was the president for 13 years, which is difficult in all organizations, but in a women's equity organization, it is particularly difficult. During that time, she was also happened to be the First Lady of the state of Maryland and continues now as the Executive Director of the Maryland Association of Boards of Education. She unfortunately is not available to join us because, like the President was just saying, much work to be done. She has a board meeting as well. So please let's give her a big round of applause for all of her work. We are also pleased to recognize Josie Thompson. Josie has been a member of our board since 2010. She came to us with a background as a small business owner, a member of the Regional Chamber of Commerce, a leadership role in an Asian American organization, and most important, a talented graphic designer. Over the past several years, Josie has updated the brand of the Maryland Women's Heritage Center into professional marketing materials, designed a fabulous STEM exhibit that you'll see over there, and transformed the version that is portable so you can see today. There you go, it's over there. Josie's here too, and many other incredible deliverables. Thank you for your efforts, Josie. Come on up here. My real job, I do marketing and communications, and I'm a former colleague of mine, Danita Terry from the Girl Scouts is here, where I worked before, and she knows, and Josie knows, like, here's my visual of creating something. I draw a little circle, I say, let's put some things around it, and then make it beautiful. And then people like Josie take that and make it amazing. So, Josie, the Maryland Women's Heritage Center awards the Certificate of Appreciation to you for years of service as a member of the board and as a visionary graphic designer of several exhibits. Rhonda Tomlinson joined our board at the same time as Josie did in 2010 as her business and professional partner in many endeavors. Rhonda came to our board as a strong supporter of our mission and then agreed to become its treasurer since she happens to also be a CPA. So besides a designer, if you're in the nonprofit world in particular, there's no better person to have on your board than a CPA. Over the years, Rhonda helped to organize several of our events, expanded the organization's development functions, as well as served as a liaison for our STEM colleagues. She preferred the programmatic functions, although we still made her be the treasurer, but we encouraged her. But she also brought the Women's Heritage Center back into a positive nonprofit status in good standing in the state of Maryland. We wish Rhonda the best of luck in her new role in her business ventures and her transition in her career pathway as an accountant. Now she's doing really cool things. Besides accounting, she also has a travel business with Josie, so we're very thankful to her as well. And the last, we would like to recognize and honor another board member that we lost last week. Dr. Katherine Harris was the former president of Frostburg State University. She too had a strong passion for women's history and knew that many stories of women were still untold. Dr. Harris provided a sustaining award annually for Maryland History Day for an award for women's history in the name of the Women's Center. She knew that we had many more stories to be told and to teach, as well as the importance of supporting girls and women to find their voice and career. And when I joined the center, it was the board a few years ago, it was really sort of a moment for me to meet her in person. She was a quiet and deliberate leader, a thoughtful and caring person who really helped us change the world. And so we are very sad to lose her. I wanted to take a moment to recognize her today.
Citation from Senator Chris Van Hollen, and it's Juliana Alowitz.
Thank you, Linda. Wow, what an event. I'm so happy I'm able to be here and to listen to all this wonderful news. Dr. Lawson, thank you very much. Your presentation was quite inspiring, I think, for all of us. You did mention the African American Museum in Washington, which is new. If any of you are interested in visiting that museum, our office can arrange tickets for you. So please let one of our offices know. You can get that information over the website at www.vanholland.senate.gov. All right. It's my honor and privilege to be here today and to recognize the women that are putting on this conference for you. And actually, I spent 13 years working for a very, very prominent woman, Senator Mikulski. I have two presentations to make. And actually, one is for the Maryland Now, and the other is for Maryland's Women Heritage Center. They both say the same thing. It's in celebration of its Women's History Conference, The Power of Women, Past, Present, and Future. In recognition of its efforts to highlight the vital role of women in America's history, with gratitude and appreciation for its efforts to educate and empower women, and with best wishes for a meaningful celebration. Signed, Chris Van Hollen, United States Senator, on this the 31st of March, 2019. That one's for you, Linda. Thank you. And